Yeah, that's the whole point, is just like, if trials come your way and whatever, you just want to rejoice. Because if you get to a place where you're not defined by things that are going on around you and circumstances, but it's an internal thing, and it's your joy and your happiness and your light, which I believe is from God and a relationship with God, and being filled with light through the spiritual reality that is larger than this physical reality. And you be filled with that light and that joy and that love for situations, and you be filled with that, and that's your internal state, and it's not necessarily dependent on what's going on around you and what the situation is around you. And so when you face these bad things, okay, yeah, it might be like a bad thing, but your internal state is this happiness and this joy and this love and this light. Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Legendary, and today I want to talk about the mindset that can absolutely change your life. So this mindset is so incredibly powerful, and what it is basically just it's so incredible. If it's a verse in the Bible, and it is, when you experience trials of whatever kind of trial, you be grateful for them and you rejoice. And this is just the biggest hack ever, and it's something that is just, it's gotten me through so many things. If you just embrace the bad times and you embrace the trials that you're going through, that is just incredible. Basically, what it's all about is turning your negative experiences into positives. And it's just so incredible, because it makes it so that anything that you're going through, anything that's negative or anything like that, you see this positive spin on it. And the things that are meant to cause negative things in us, if those things end up causing positivity and happiness and whatever, and rejoicing in you, then that is the strongest position ever, because there's nothing that can bring you down. And so just the basis for this mindset is, it's found in God, I would say, and in eternity. And in, if the worst thing happens to you, you die and you're with God and all that. And I've had a long journey in my life of just what I believe about my relationship with God and things like that. But this mindset just made me the happiest ever. Because imagine when bad things happen, and you find bad things happen, and you find the good in it, and you find ways that it's a time for growth, and it's a time for growing your character and who you are and your mindset and things like that, and you turn it and you find it as a positive, then there's just nothing that can bring you down in life. And so you just need to embrace these bad things that happen to you, and just see it in a different way and rejoice in it, and say, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, because this, because it's growing me, because I'm learning through it and whatever. I'm so grateful that I get to be happy through this, to be a positive example to other people and things like that. I'm so grateful for this trial that's happening to me, because I get to get through this and get to the other side. And there's so many different mindsets that you could have about the bad things that happen to you. And if you have this habit of just, when bad things happen, you say, I'm going to rejoice about this, I'm going to find the joy in it, then there's just nothing that can bring you down. And so I've had different situations that, it's a bad thing that happens, and you find this positivity in it. Like if I have issues with a vehicle or whatever, or if, because I've had things like a vehicle breakdown or something like that, or things don't go according to plan or whatever. If you stay happy just at a baseline level and unattached from outcomes to a certain extent, like we want to have things happen, and we want to produce good in the world, and we have these dreams and whatever. Yeah, that's great, but you also want to, like, I am a proponent for, making things happen and making these crazy things come true and dreams and things like that, But you don't want to be attached to that. You want to be happy right where you are, and in my opinion, you want to be happy if your side thing never takes off, if you always have a 9-to-5 job, whatever. You still want to be the happiest person in that situation. If all your plans fail and whatever, which, like I'm a huge proponent for having all these plans and having the best strategy and whatever, and making things happen and pushing things forward and whatever. If everything crumbles, you want to have an internal state of, oh my gosh, I didn't need any of that to happen. I'm happy right where I am. I'm thankful for this difficulty that I get to go through, that I get to endure, that I get to whatever. And you don't want to be super attached to your dreams and your visions and whatever. If you're a Christian, you want to have a good relationship with God and try to push things forward, good things, and make things happen to be able to impact the lives of other people. But you don't want to be attached to this thing. You don't want to be attached to your dreams and your goals and, in a sense, like, just be focused on selfishly making them happen or whatever. You want to have this happiness that is inside of you no matter the situation. So one mindset that you could put to use when bad things happen is, I used to get really excited about, like, oh my gosh, I get to just endure through this. Like, I had a period of my life, like 2 or 3 years or whatever, where it was just college and work and trying to make things happen, and as in just trying to get all the work done that I needed to pay for school and then do the college and all that. And I was just constantly busy and had all these things happening and I had to repair my vehicles. I had to repair these different things. I had to pay for these different things. And it was just like, I couldn't ever catch a break. And I just remember, like, always rejoicing in that and always being like, okay, like I don't care. Like, I'm just going to rejoice in these situations that are happening and whatever. And just be happy in anything that's coming my way. And yeah, that's the whole point, is just like, if trials come your way and whatever, you just want to rejoice. Because if you get to a place where you're not defined by things that are going on around you and circumstances, but it's an internal thing, and it's your joy and your happiness and your light, which I believe is from God and a relationship with God, and being filled with light through the spiritual reality that is larger than this physical reality. And you be filled with that light and that joy and that love for situations, and you be filled with that, and that's your internal state, and it's not necessarily dependent on what's going on around you and what the situation is around you. And so when you face these bad things, okay, yeah, it might be like a bad thing, but your internal state is this happiness and this joy and this love and this light. And that's where I believe we want to be at in our relationship with God. And we want to be defined by inside and spiritual relationship with Him. And so that when these bad things happen, these negative circumstances and whatever, we're shining through that and we are rejoicing through that. Because honestly, what we want all the time is to rejoice inside. Like, it just makes sense. Like, when you face trials of all different kinds, rejoice, and rejoice always, and just live in joy, because that is the state that we want. Like, we want to be happy. Like, people want to be happy. That's like the end goal, And so if you are rejoicing always and you are happy always, then you're there in that end goal. You're just experiencing this thing. And the mindset also that pushed me to the next level with that is, the idea of God having us, God having it all under control, and eternity being in His hands. Because, oh man, this thought just like I've definitely gone through a period of like this thought just like completely changing my life. To live is Christ and to die is gain. Oh my gosh, if you're trying to stack like joy in your life and happiness, if dying is to gain, then the worst thing that can happen to you, if it progresses to the worst level of death, then that's gain. And so if you have joy in the most difficult things, and your joy is literally complete when you're with God, and to die is gain, then there's no way for there to not be that joy and that happiness. And so what I think is just like the best kind of mindset is you have this joy from God, from your relationship with Him spiritually, and you have this, you're settled in this relationship, in this idea, this mindset. And then at the same time, you're settled in that and you're content. And you've got this happiness no matter where you're at. But then you also stack on top of that like good, wise strategy and plans and things to do to be able to affect the lives of other people. And yeah, so it's just kind of built on that happiness. And you've got all these things that you're like, this would be so good to accomplish, to affect the lives of other people, to do, to get done, whatever. But you don't ever like put that as the top thing. Like you might be so hardcore on it towards achieving it, which I think is great. I think it's awesome to be super hardcore on achieving this thing, whatever. But that's not where you have your happiness. And if that crumbles and your plans die and whatever, and you get some terminal illness and you're shut down against doing those things and whatever, and you can't complete those plans, alright, whatever. Those plans don't define you. You are happy internally. And it wasn't like everything hinged on that plan or whatever. It was just that you only live one time, so you might as well just shoot for it, But if things don't go according to your human plan, whatever, then okay, you know what I'm saying? You have a state of rejoicing in every situation. So it's just that like, yeah, I only live one time. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to do these crazy things, whatever. But if it falls apart, I had a baseline of rejoicing. And when trials come my way, I'm happy. And in my opinion, that is how you win in life. Because if you have happiness and then you have that no matter what, and that's an internal thing, then you just win. You win. And if you have as well, to die is gain. And you're thinking, yeah, if I die, that's gain as well. That is just win after win after win after win. So that mindset is just going to just propel you forward, and it's going to make you so that you embrace those hard times. You embrace and you have joy through it, and you say, this might be not according to plan, whatever. That is not going to shake who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to get this out of the way, of course, to keep going towards my plan, whatever. But it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I had this like massive plan and now this thing's in the way. No, you need to retain that positivity, that joy, and when these hard things come your way, you're happy to press into it, embrace it, and say, bro, I had these plans, but I'm just as happy in this thing, dealing with this. I had this thing come up. I have to help this family member with this thing, whatever. I'm a baseline happy, and I'm happy to press into this situation and just live it up with this hand that I've been dealt. I'll try to figure out different things for the best way for getting out of this, for whatever, and I'll go to God with it, whatever, and figure out the best way forward. But I have a baseline of happiness, positivity, of rejoicing always, of whenever anything negative, any trial comes your way, you're rejoicing. And so, yeah, guys, that's kind of the hack. If you want to look at it a different way, it's you can go in depth on this deeper level of thinking of when these things come your way. You can just turn them around in your mind and be thankful for different things about it. and you can just have these really cool different hacks for different ways to think about the situation and turn it around for goodness. And in my opinion, that is strategically, that's just a great thing to have, because that positive energy is just what pushes you forward in life. And if you convert the negativity into this different way, this different perspective on it, and seeing it in a positive way, that's going to keep you moving forward rather than regressing backwards and having this situation come at you and you have only this view of it. You only have this one view of the situation. But if you turn and you look at it in this different way or whatever and put this positive spin on it, it's going to keep you moving forward and not regressing back. And we never want to regress back. We never want to, we just always want to keep moving forward. That's just, how I kind of see this positivity and negativity. It's just like, it's something about in reality, like light and darkness and positivity and negativity and our relationship with God, and, when we're not pressing into that and all that. So everything in the Bible is just about, everything in Christianity is just about this positivity, and I mean like love, like the greatest of these is love. Love is positivity. It's like giving energy to other people. It's being filled and giving instead of selfishly receiving. You know what I'm saying? And so just all those things kind of tie into each other related to this mindset of turning around these situations, seeing it differently, and letting them propel you forward, give you more motivation, not make you sink back. And so just think about it in this different way and rejoice about it, and let these negative things just push you forward and add to your motivation and add to your light. And so, yeah, that's it for the video, guys. And I hope this just encourages you to, in every situation, every trial, and all that, you just rejoice and you keep moving forward.